Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new to my channel. Donuts are the best. Unfortunately, if you're vegan or allergic to eggs or dairy, donuts are a no-no. I'm going to share with you a recipe that will rival even the crispiest or creamiest of donuts. Making your own hot, fresh donuts at home is easier than you might think. I'm following America's Test Kitchen's method for their glazed donuts, but I've made some adjustments to the recipe to make them vegan and allergy friendly. Into a stand mixer, add 675 grams of all-purpose flour. I like weighing my ingredients because it makes for more consistent results. I'll include the measurements using cups in the description below if you don't have a food scale. Next, add 100 grams of sugar and 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast and stir it well. Then add the wet ingredients. Into 350 milliliters of plant-based milk, add 45 grams of flax gel, or the equivalent of 1 egg. This egg substitute is super easy to make and works great for baking. I'll link the instructions on how to make these flax eggs in the description below. Stir the gel with a fork to help break it up and blend it into the milk. Then add it to the flour mixture. Mix on medium-low speed for a couple of minutes until the dough is evenly hydrated. Cover and let rest for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, add 1½ teaspoons of salt. Let this mix for 5 to 6 minutes to let the salt blend evenly into the dough. I'm having a bit of an equipment malfunction here. My glass mixing bowl won't lock into the base plate. These metal base plates can get bent or misshapen over time and will need replacing. But honestly, I think it's just time for a new mixer. This old gal is about 20 years old and I've put a lot of miles on her. I've tuned her up and made adjustments here and there through the years, but I think it's just time for her to retire. Next, add 1 stick of plant-based butter that you've cut into small pieces. Add the pieces a little at a time while letting the mixer run for about 10 more minutes. The dough is through mixing when it clears the sides of the bowl and is stretchy and elastic. Remove the dough and shape it into a ball. Place this into a lightly oiled bowl. Cover it and let it rest at room temperature for an hour. Then put it in the refrigerator overnight. The next day, you'll turn the chilled dough out onto a lightly floured countertop. With your hands, shape the dough into a square, then using a rolling pin, roll it out into a 10 by 13 or so inch rectangle. It should be big enough to cut 3 rows of 4 donuts using a 3-inch biscuit cutter. Using a 1-inch biscuit cutter, cut holes into the center of each donut. If you don't have biscuit cutters like this, you can use a glass or the rim of a jar. I'll leave a link in the description below for ones like the ones that I'm using here. Place the donuts onto a parchment-lined baking sheet that you've sprayed with cooking spray. Then let them rest until they've increased by 50%. You can either cover them lightly with a tea towel and let them rest at room temperature, or if your kitchen's a little cool, you can put them uncovered into your oven with a pan of hot water. With the extra dough, you can gather it up and make yourself an extra tester donut, or you can make a bunch of donut holes, but don't waste the dough. Even the not so pretty donuts are still delicious. Heat about 2 quarts of vegetable oil in a heavy pot to about 360 degrees. Very carefully add the donuts to the oil, being sure not to overcrowd them. Keep an eye on the oil temperature and try to keep it around 350 to 360 degrees. Fry the first side until it's golden brown, then flip it over to fry the other side. place the donuts on a thick layer of paper towels that you placed on a wire rack. To fry the donut holes, make sure to keep them moving. If one side starts to brown, it's almost impossible to get them to turn over to brown the other side. To make the glaze, add a half a cup of hot water to 375 grams of powdered sugar and just a pinch of salt. Dip the donuts into the glaze and place them on a wire rack. Put the rack onto a pan to catch the extra glaze. I like to double dip my donuts because I really like a lot of extra glaze. To make chocolate glazed donuts, just heat 150 grams of coconut cream and pour this over 150 grams of vegan chocolate chips. Then stir until the chocolate is melted. Guys, you have got to try this recipe. I can't tell you how long it's been and how much I've missed having donuts since going vegan. Let me know if you give this recipe a try and how yours turn out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel and click the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I post a video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.